When you're authentic to who you are, everything else will fall in place. People are gonna love, they're gonna hate, but you never know who's watching.
Everything I do, I want it to be as original as it can be.
Somebody did it like this, I'm gonna do it this much iller.
Who comes back and rescues himself?
This was our moment to let people know how we felt as a team.
We've revolutionized this game with our influence.
As February winds down, the NBA playoffs are right around the corner. The NBA feels wide open this season, so you know the home stretch is going to be intense.
Feel the action like never before with DraftKings, today's video sponsor. They're giving all new customers a can't-miss offer.
All new customers have to do is sign up to DraftKings using my promo code SMOKE. Put at least $5 on any pregame money line for any basketball game, and you'll receive an additional $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins.
You heard the man. New customers, use our promo code SMOKE and just throw down $5 on any pregame money line for any basketball game. If your pick hits, you'll get $150 in bonus bets.
DraftKings has been around for a while and is safe and reliable, so you know your money is in good hands.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code SMOKE. Bet $5 on the pregame money line for any basketball game and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code SMOKE, only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Every Friday, head over to the DraftKings app and check out the All the Smoke Same Game Parlay.
With the same game parlay hits, you win big. See who we're taking on Friday. And if you like the pick, ride along with us.
The action only happens at DraftKings Sportsbook.
I knew when I had to Mac, come get me. I wasn't doing that.
Jamal be quick to go on a tear and then end up on a dude like, hey, get me for a second. Give me for a second. We'll switch off real quick.
Welcome into What's Burnin'. I am here with, oh man, we got Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, and fresh off All-Star Weekend, Jamal Crawford. Oh, that's dunk contest judge Jamal Crawford. To all of you, welcome.
The man himself.
Thank you. Nah, y'all blessing me. I'm with three legends up here.
Hey man, but between AAU coach and I see you in LA, then next night I see you on TNT, then the next couple of days I see you at All Star, being man of many hats.
I'm taking the Matt and Snap booklet and trying to run and trying to follow the blueprint.
Yeah, man. Hey, Showtime. Matt can't talk. He barely got time to shoot our show.
Matt's the busiest man in show business. And Rachel is such a legend. We just so happy to see her more.
Matt's got like 8 blueprints, so if you're following the Matt blueprint, you've got to gather them all up because he's got like 9 or 10 going on.
We gonna get it though.
Jamal, you had never been a judge before, right? What was it like?
Rachel, I had never been to All-Star before, so it was crazy.
No
for me
way.
I promise you, I always felt like I should be there if I deserved to be there, and when I didn't make it, I just never went. I wasn't going just to kick it. So
wow.
Yeah. So the fact I got asked to be a judge, that was pressure, but then I was like, I'm going to embrace it. I'm just going to enjoy the weekend. And to answer your question about what it was like, it was great. I felt like I was on path until somebody on the other end, I ain't going to say no names, started doing his thing on the scores table. So I had to juice up the scores a little bit to average out the young fellas.
Hey, Mo, what was it? I saw you took... I saw you took JJ. What was it like to have your son enjoy that experience?
It's crazy, and you know this too. Like, he just absorbed everything. Every single thing, he absorbed every moment. He was watching everything. He met Giannis, and he's like, Giannis, I watched your doc. And Giannis like, what'd you learn from it? He said, to work hard. And Giannis said, that's right, work hard and listen to your parents. But everything somebody told him, you can see him just like the wheels were spinning. His workouts have been totally different after that.
I love it.
I love anyone who says listen to your parents. I'm all for that. Well, Jamal, if that was your first All-Star weekend, I do have some news for you. They're not all in Utah, so it will get better.
You know what, Rach? I had nothing to compare it to. So for me, I was like, all right. I had to do like 9 different things. So I'm like, all right, let me just go from place to place. And my son was good, so I was all right. And it was close to home. The flights to Atlanta have been killing me. So the fact it was Utah, I was all right with that.
Yeah, and it sucks, Rach, for you to say that. It hurts my heart to say that's your first time because you definitely deserve to be there multiple times in your career. It sucks to even hear that.
Bro, I had those 10 moves. I was going to let go. Like, they were going to be crazy if I ever got in that game.
Well, I'm glad that you got the dunk contest experience. I will say, I saw this wave about the dunk contest, and I need you to put it in perspective for us because afterward, Magic Johnson tweeted, Mac McClung personally saved the dunk contest with his performance tonight. Shaq said the same thing on the air with you guys. LeBron said afterward, he said, McClung is now up in dunk contest history with Vince Carter and MJ. Was it really at that level for you guys? Because it was fun.
Oh, wow.
I was in the building. But that level? Really?
Well, Rach, the bar wasn't really that high from what they were coming off of last year. So I think that's what everybody's excitement's coming from. But not Jordan and Vince. We can't be prisoners of the moment with that one. Like he was good. It was really good. And it was exciting in the gym, but the bar was really, really low. So he had a great dunk contest, but those guys are like two of the best dunkers ever. Like it was.
Yeah, Matt is solid, man. We had Matt in the Allen Iverson game. He's a great kid, man. I've always been rooting for him, and he's a dunker, bro. That's what he does. But I don't put him on the level with Zach LaVine and Gordon. Like that dunk contest was on another level. So I definitely don't put him on the level with MJ and Vince. But for saying he saved the dunk contest this year, he definitely did that. The best move Philadelphia did this year was sign him to a two-way contract.
Oh, man. Great idea.
So he can participate in this slam dunk contest. I'm glad they did that. I'm happy for Matt because he's a great kid. And he works hard.
For sure. He seemed like a great kid. It was crazy because when he got rolling, I looked at Dominique. I said, this was like when you and MJ did it in Chicago. He looked at me like, he said, man, you better. I said, you right. My bad, Nick. My bad. You right. Hey, the spirit moved me. My bad. My fault.
That is some recency bias.
Hey, you was in the moment, fam?
I was in the moment, fam. I took the scorecards and put up 100. I was in the moment. But he definitely brought me back down to life.
I mean, he does seem like a really nice kid. That cardigan he was wearing the next night was amazing. I'm glad that it was, and again, it was fun. It was fun being in the building for all that, but I am surprised at the wave of, oh my God, this is incredible. Because you point out he's not actually even in the NBA. And I mean, they signed him to this two-way just a couple days ago. He's going right back to the G League. He made it the G League partly on sort of his YouTube dunk highlights to begin with. And he's turned into a really nice player. Is the dunk contest, should it just be that from now on? Should it just be like dunkers dunking and like not really NBA players so much? I mean, what direction are we going here?
They don't want to do that, Rach. They don't want to do that because it's some guys on Instagram called the Flight Brothers.
Yes.
And they'll make it so unfair where nobody can even get in this dunk contest. So they don't want to do that. I think they need to make it straight NBA players because if they open up that can, Rachel, it's gonna get ugly and NBA players won't have a shot.
He's right.
Well, NBA players aren't really participating anyway, though.
Facts.
I mean, like, what's happened? What are we doing here?
But can I ask you guys this? Wouldn't you want to see like a one-on-one tournament, 6'4" and lower, 6'5" and taller? Put up $5 million. I bet you everybody would jump in and let's get the weight classes going. Let's see we ain't got to argue about Kyrie and Steph, who will win, or Kyrie and Dame, or
pound
Tatum and KD, pound for pound. Let's see who's who and what's what.
Hey man, you doing big things over there at TNT. Make that happen. Hey, we're gonna sit the dunk contest out this year. We're gonna play this one-on-one tournament. Cutthroat.
But Matt, let me ask you guys: do you think people's pride will get in the way, their brands and everything else, to be scared of if they lose?
I mean, that's the reason why I feel like guys are, or maybe it's not cool enough. But I think a lot of pride and ego goes into what guys are doing that weekend. Definitely now.
That's why I don't think the one-on-one will work, Maul, because they too scared to compete in the games. And the main game that everybody want to see them compete in. You heard what Kobe said, man, this game's supposed to be competitive. Everybody want to see the top guys go in and have a high-level pickup game, right? And it's got away from that. Even Jaylen Brown was like, this is a glorified layup line. I want to play basketball. And he was one of the guys that's hurt. So for one of the guys that's wearing a mask with damn near broken eye socket or whatever he's dealing with, and want to go hard in the All-Star game, what about the guys that's not hurt? So, you know what I'm saying? I wish we just got back to a competitive game.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Like when we were growing up, seeing Kobe against MJ, like that's what made the All-Star game what it was. You had the best players in the world going at it to separate who's who and what's what. Now it's like, you get your dunk, I'll get my dunk. That's boring. Like, and it's actually kind of disrespectful to basketball, if I'm being honest. Like, that's not.
Okay,
that's
but
not
y'all
it.
are players. What could the league do to get the players to be competitive, right? Mike Malone afterward called this the worst basketball game ever played in history. I don't
think the league
what can you do,
not
Matt?
to cut you off. Yeah, Rachel, the league can't do anything. The league can't do anything. It's going to be up to the players to decide. It's going to be up to a star to push the, set the tone. Like
you can't even get players to play games, Matt.
Exactly, like Ja or Luka or Tatum, one of these next up-and-coming superstars, I feel like really has to be like, yo, check this out. This is what we're doing in this game. We're not going to disrespect the game. We're going to play it hard. We're going to play it the right way. But as far as the league, there's nothing the league can do about any of this. It's going to be all, whether stars start participating in the dunk contest or guys play hard in the all-star game, it's always going to be up to the players.
That's what I said, Matt. When the very, very best players set the tone, like, yo, we're not coming in bullshitting. Like, we're going to get it right from the start, and you come with that mentality. Like, it's named after Kobe. What's the best way to honor Kobe but to compete? What are we doing?
Yep, agreed.
Thanks.
All right, but how do you get that to actually happen, right? Because you got guys, even in the game, like you said, Jaylen Brown, he's willing to go at it. How does that actually happen? Does it have to be like a Kobe? Does it have to be one of those guys and there's no other way to get it going?
It's gonna have, like Matt said, it's gonna have to be the biggest night. It's gonna have like Braun and those guys gonna have to set their tone. They're gonna have to come in with their energy because you know what, Rach? It's gonna have to be the two captains basically. The guys just picking the teams. And I really feel this, to give him his props. I feel like if the Greek Freak wasn't hurt, he would have came with that energy because he played like that everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, look, I still like watching the best players in the world all be on one court. You look around on those nights, and it is pretty incredible. We did see Ja get a ton of love over the weekend. The fans really reacting to him. We saw the fans really reacting to Luka a lot, too. And it's funny, Jamal, I heard you talking recently about the love for Luka's game. You were saying how well-deserved it was. But what caught my ear is you were asking, where was all this goodwill for James Harden during the Houston days? And I wanted you to explain more where you see the parallels between the two guys and the different reactions, though, you've seen to them.
I'm so glad you asked about that because they killed me the next day. I'm like, are y'all not seeing what I'm seeing? I'm not saying they're the exact same player, but the style of play, the way they play is almost identical. It's like one's left hand, one's right hand. They have the ball. Their usage rate is way higher than everybody else's. There's other guys just stand around them while they do their thing. They step back. And I wasn't dissing Luka Westbrook. I love his game. Luka is cold. But my thing was, people say, oh, Harden won MVP. Yeah, he won MVP, but don't forget, it was frowned upon. Oh, you can't win that way. You can't play that way. It's not basketball. But with Luka, it's like we've embraced it. And we should, but give Harden his love too, because he was doing this in the numbers he's doing. He had 60-point triple-doubles. They went to the Western Conference Finals. So it's very, very similar. Luka's younger and all that, and he has so much room to improve, and I get it. This isn't just about Luka. It's more so about let's give Harden his love because he was doing crazy, crazy numbers at that time. Not just winning MVPs, but actually doing numbers, and people were kind of, some people crowned him, a lot of people frowned upon what he did.
People with the NBA had to change rules because of James Harden. He had mastered the game. He had outsunk the game, and he was one of the toughest matchups in the history of the game. You know what I mean? He was strong. He was quick. He was smart. He could great shooter, great free. I mean, they had to change the rules. They had to change the free throw rules because of James Harden mastered the game. So I agree. I agree. Like, obviously not same players, similar styles, but numbers definitely reflect similarities.
And they both are great players. Excuse me, Race. They're both are great players, but just like Kobe said, that's not winning basketball for neither one of them. I don't care who's doing it. It looks exciting. You love watching it. They're going to be looking like the top players in the league, but it's not winning basketball, and that's what it boiled down to.
Well, I mean, that's why they wanted to get someone in with Luka, right? To your point, you can't, when you have one guy and you're depending on him that much, you can't win a championship. I don't know if Kyrie's going to be that guy. I think there's got to be a little bit of a style difference issue. Luka's a little bit more layered. Usage rate is obviously just as high, but his attack is a little bit more layered. I think with James, some of the sort of, dribble, the way he would attack being so consistent. Is that part of why the reaction is a little bit different? Because I voted for James for MVP that year unequivocally. Like, I had no issue with that. I thought he absolutely had an MVP season, and I was always surprised that there was sort of more of that negative spin on what he was doing.
Yeah, I think Luka's is more layered. But I think it's still similar, though. It's still very similar. Like, it takes a special person to play with a guy like that because you have to be comfortable with, like, you know what, I'm not going to get the ball as much. Or if I do get it, I'm getting off of all the work they've already done. I think the love for Luka, in the comments is basically that he's younger. Well, yeah, he's younger, but their style of play is very, very similar in the way they're thinking the game and how they're breaking down the game.
Well, look, it's going to be interesting to see the Kyrie-Luka combination. We also got some other new team formations because the buyout market's still going on, even though we don't have games back up yet. Jamal, it's funny, to get bought out, you have to be making a lot of money to begin with. So it says something about the quality of player you were. You were bought out once. What is that whole experience like? Because we got guys going through it this week.
I thought I walked away from them. I was bought out. Okay, my fault.
According to our intrepid research staff.
That's the same thing. That's the same thing, bro.
He said, I thought I walked away.
Yeah, I thought I walked away. Now, I think at the end of the day, you're willing to give up some money for happiness. There's no price on peace of mind. And if you feel like there's a team out there who'll let you be you, who'll let you go and you get back to the whatever level you feel like you're at, it's worth it. And so for a guy like Russ, for example, I bet he's happy as hell because he's like, you know what? I'm going to a team that's going to embrace me. They want me to be me. And whatever I gave up on the back end, I'll get that back, but more so I'll get my respect back. And I think that's the type of mindset you're in when you're going through things like that.
I think what makes what makes that interesting though is obviously we'll get into the detail about the Russ situation, but from what I was told, Russ and LeBron live across the street from each other. Like across the street for real, like he's on the other side of the street from what I heard. So how interesting is that going to be if that's true that, he's gone now, but he just went down the hallway to LA and Russ is that's going to be an interesting.
Do you think that they both go out and get the paper in the driveway in the morning? Is that what you're saying? Envisioning?
They're definitely crossing paths.
Yeah, interesting 4th of July, hang outside with all the family time. So that's going to be fun, man.
Hey, but man, wasn't like Russ over LeBron's on 4th of July before they even became teammates? Like they were already
blowing big cigars.
Yeah,
they kicked it tough. Yeah, I just kind of wonder, this is a little off talk, but like as it's going on, like to me, it kind of seemed like, and I could be wrong, that Bron was the one that was recruiting Russ. You know what I mean? For Russ to be a Laker and all this kind of stuff, because, you hear from DeMar that DeMar thought he was going to be a Laker. So fast forward to this whole situation and kind of, you expect it from the media, you can expect it from the fans. But then I wonder what Russ was thinking when Bron's like, with the whole Kyrie thing, he's just like, damn, I thought you wanted me. I thought you wanted me here. But it just shows, what kind of business this is. Obviously, you can't fault Bron because at the end of the day, like this is his legacy. He's leaving. He wants to go out on top. So if he feels like someone else can come in and give him a better chance, that's the move he's going to make at this point of his career. But I just wonder kind of, Russ doesn't speak much, but I really just wonder what's going on in his head when he's just hearing all this shit. Like, damn.
Well, I like for him personally, bro, I was so happy because I said before, I'm like the Lakers' issues is way bigger than Russ. That's low hanging fruit.
He's a scapegoat.
Like, he's a scapegoat. So the fact I've never seen somebody in the same season get his respect back the way he did with their home fans. You know what I mean? Like with their home base because they were booing him.
That's tough to do.
Don't shoot at home. Like this is really home. This ain't like we go play in Philly and they doing that. Like this is home for him. So it's hell on the court and off the court.
I think Jack said something in a post yesterday where he remained silent though the whole time, no matter what he went through, what he heard. I mean, that's the one thing about Russ. Every single night he shows up.
And then you got no disrespect. You got people reporting, oh, he was a vampire in the locker room. Like, let's not keep dirt on his name. Let's not do that. Like, you can feel how you feel and everything. Like, we all know stuff that we would never say. You know what I mean? Especially when somebody's gonna have to try to get a job. We all knew Russell was gonna get a buyout. Like, that just wasn't cool to me.
Hey, we seen it done before though. They did it to AI. They did it to a lot of the guys that we love that were stars. You know what I mean? They when they get to the careers and they're not marching to the beat they want them to, or they have a bad game or a bad year, they automatically write them out and forget about all the years of Russ averaging triple doubles and where he stand, in basketball history. They forgot about all that. But we didn't as players, so it's our job to defend him. Yes. Because we have had bad years. We've been in those positions where the fans and everybody against us until we make a shot to make them happy. It's what have you done lately? But at the end of the day, like I said, Russ, I commend him because he stayed silent, stayed a professional, and stayed doing his thing. And I said he was going to the Clippers. I'm happy for him too.
But I think all three of us can contest that. It's not about, although it hurts sometimes when we hear everything, it's about what our peers think about us. It's not what the media thinks about us, not what the fans think about us. Yeah. It's how we're respected amongst each other. You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest thing. And I know for a fact, hate him or love him, Russ is respected around the league and always has been.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, look, Paul George went out hard for him, right?
Yep.
Publicly, especially after all this has been going on. And it's interesting. I had conversations right before the break with some front office people on that team. Paul's recommendation definitely meant a lot to them, but I was told it wasn't enough. That wasn't going to do it entirely. That they were looking for how willing was Russ to accept what they wanted him to do on the court. And obviously with the Lakers, there was a bunch of, is he going to start? Is he going to come off the bench? He obviously did really well in that 6-man role. With the Clippers, they have better shooting. So what they want from him is to drive to the basket, which, by the way, he can still do. He is top 12 in the league still in drives. They want him to push the pace. They want him to kick out to the better shooters. Do you guys feel that Russ has the discipline at this point in his career? Because even with the Lakers, once he accepted the role, and we praised him a lot on this show for what he has done this season, he still wasn't great shot selection. He wasn't always making the right decisions out on the court. Do you guys feel that he is up for playing with this level of guys and really doing what they need him to do as a point guard? Because that's the need that they have.
I do, Rach, because they definitely need help rebounding, and he's one of the best rebounding point guards ever. Also, I think he'll love to be in this role because he's wanted, Rachel. The best feeling in any job that you have is being wanted by the people there, right? It's hard to play when you know you got teammates talking about it behind your back, when you got the front office thinking about trading you, when you got all kind of stuff going on. So it's hard to perform like that. But when you got an organization and you got star players on the team that want you there, that know what you're capable of, it's going to be easier to buy in. And that's why I say I'm happy for Russ, because it's going to be an easy situation for him to fall into. All you got to do is control the team. You got to get the ball to Paul, Kawhi, and rebound, and that's what he's best at.
Yeah, for me, I think he's going to do whatever it takes because his spirit is back. He's like Jack said, his spirit is back. When your spirit is broken and, messed with, and you don't know who's who, and, like, are they in my corner? Are they not? Are they talking about me behind my back? Whatever it is, he's going to wear such pride. He's going to play harder than he ever has. And he knows where he's at. He knew the whispers of what people were saying. Like, this is going to be a golden opportunity, not only win a championship, to revive his career and put him in a place where he gets the respect he so deserves, because what he's done, averaging triple-double, we never thought we'd see that again. He did it for 3 years.
Right.
Like, Russ is a top 75 guy without a doubt, but his spirit's back. T. Lue's going to empower him. He's not going to hold what he doesn't do well against him. I think he's going to show up and show out.
That's what I wanted to. I think T. Lue is the right coach for this situation, and we praised Darvin Ham because Darvin Ham was the right one to get Russ to buy into coming off the bench, because there's not too many coaches. Maybe we can name just those two that he really would have bought into and respected enough to come in and buy into that role. Russ is going to be Russ, and I think Rachel, you said they're asking him to get downhill, which he's great at, and find shooters, which he's always been good at. So if that's what he's asked, and then like Jack and Jamal are saying, this is a second chance. This is a revival. Hopefully he can revive his career because, being quite honest, there's probably not a lot of teams. I think Russ's future is really going to hinge on this next 25 game plus this playoff run, because there's just once they start talking a certain way about you, and Jack, we could offend these motherfuckers all they want, but the GMs and they start feeling a certain way. I really think this is one of the most critical runs of Russell Westbrook's career if he wants to play beyond this. You know what I mean? So I'm with the rest of the guys. I think he's going to be completely bought in. I think he is going to be an asset to this team. And, with the other moves the Clippers made, this is definitely, we've been saying it all year. I mean, it hinges on Kawhi's availability, but this is the deepest team in the NBA. And they have a great shot of not only coming out of the West, and that's saying a lot with Phoenix and these other teams, but they have a great opportunity to win a championship this year.
Yep.
Whoa, okay, so that's high praise. I was just going to say, look, can they climb up past fourth? Right now they're fourth. They've got the Nuggets, Grizz, and Kings ahead of them. And as you say, the Suns are going to be making a move in this last third of the season. The Mavs would like to be making a move. You think they're championship contenders, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. With the three teams in front of them, with all due respect to all three of those teams, we have to see it in the playoffs. We've seen Kawhi's won championships. PG's taken this team to the Western Finals without Kawhi, had lost Kawhi. So, you add these solid, I really love the Mason Plumlee pickup. You know what I mean? Just super solid, big, plays hard, does his job. Eric Gordon's getting another chance. Bone Highlands is a wild card that's probably going to win you a game or two in the playoffs just off dropping 35, 40, possibly 30, 35 points. So, Kawhi's health is going to be critical for this team, but I love the moves they make. And again, I love this Russ opportunity because we are all just such fans of Russ. And I just think he deserves to go out the way he can. And what better way than to really catch fire with this team, sign a 2 or 3 year deal and finish at home.
All right. You guys backing him up on championship contender? Are you backing him up?
Yeah. Sure. You got Russ, Paul, and a healthy Kawhi, and the experience of T-Lue. I'll give him a shot, Rach. And you know what? Just imagine that. Russ helping the Clippers bring that first championship home. I think that'll be great for him.
Yeah, I like their move. I like their team before the moves. I love their team afterwards. And people forget. Yeah, people forget. Like Kawhi, we don't see him enough to be like he's top 5. I know in the playoffs he's top 5. Like he's a top 5 playoff performer without a doubt. Like everything he brings to the table is what you want. Like Russ is going to bring toughness. He's going to bring grit. He's going to hold them dudes accountable because players in the locker room look at Russ like we do. So we hold him to the highest standard. And he's not going to back down. So and to Matt's point, the teams in front of him, I'm not really scared if I'm the Clippers. It's like we can go win a game anywhere with this crew. And like Bones Highland, those dudes are underrated. They can go win you a quarter to get the Stars back on track. I love the Clippers and what they're doing.
Like I said, I just think those teams in front, we have to see it in the playoffs. Sacramento's completely new to this space. Denver, I said before, similar to what the Jazz were doing a few years ago, great in the regular season. We have to see it in the playoffs. And then Memphis has done a lot of talking. We got to see wins in the playoffs. Go ahead, Rach.
Well, Denver fans are listening to y'all and they're screaming right now at the TV being like, we made the Western Conference Finals. I mean, this team has had some experience.
Yeah,
they just haven't gone all the way.
They have a shot. They have a shot too, but, they haven't done it as well, Rach. You got the back-to-back MVP, possibly 3-time MVP, and you can't get to the finals. So that team hasn't shown anything, Rach, but being a dominant regular season team. If they show us something this season, then maybe they'll continue to be in that conversation.
But with that said, I do like what they got going on this year. Like they got everyone's healthy. They got the pieces they feel like they need. So the Western Conference, we haven't even talked about Phoenix, like Golden State. You always got to give them a chance because they got experience. It's going to be a battle to come out of the West this year.
Rach, who do you trust more? In a playoff series, if they're matched up, would you trust this new-look Clippers team or would you trust Memphis or New Orleans or Denver?
Oh, I'm trusting the Clippers over Memphis.
There it is.
Especially with the experience. I'm trusting them. I'm trusting them over New Orleans. I want to see what the Nuggets turn into. I know they're not the popular, trendy pick. I'm blown away by this Suns lineup, and I think that if they can play together and stay healthy, I think it's ridiculous to sleep on them, even where they are in the bracket right now. But I'm not willing to write the Nuggets off. They've got what's going to be the 3-time MVP, and they're a good team, and they've been the top seed for a reason. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are always like, oh, well, Denver, they haven't shown us that they can do it yet. They haven't shown you can win, but they've got some pretty impressive stuff going on.
They're going to put that 3-time MVP in about 75 pick and rolls in the playoffs, though.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to figure that out. FYI, their offense is splendid, but that defense, and I don't even play, Rach, I never even played defense, but I'm telling you, I know what's coming. I knew when I had to come off. Matt, come get me. I wasn't doing that.
Jamal be quick to go on a tear and then end up on a dude like, hey, give me 4 seconds. Give me 4 seconds. We'll switch off real quick.
I just hit 8 straight, but I already know what time it is. Get me up out of here so I can still look good. Don't let him hold it against me.
Oh, shit.
What's that like during a playoff game when you feel like that?
Oh, man. I know the whole world's watching. I just ran off 8 to 10. But I know I may give up 6 back. So, let me get a couple fouls. And Mac will come get me a lockup, and everybody wins.
All right, we gotta get our act back together. I want to talk to you guys about Pat Bev signing with the Bulls. That is his hometown team. But guys, he mentioned on his pod he also had a chance to go to the Warriors. And I wanted to read you the quote. He said, "It was between Golden State and the Bulls. Obviously, it's always good to play with a lot of great talent in Golden State, but there's a lot of guards over there. I figured I could make a playoff push with the Bulls right now and kind of pop them up a little bit. The East is kind of weak," he said. He said, "I'm excited. I get to take my son to school. Whoa. I get to take my baby girl to school. I get to pick them up. I get to rep my city on my chest." So there's a lot there. Love that he's home with the kids. Big fan of that. Let's start with him saying the East is kind of weak. Thoughts?
Man, Pat Bev gonna always throw something out there. He always gonna ruffle a little feathers. But I think the best thing about it is he get a chance to go home, play in Chicago, be with his family. Like you said, pick his kids up from school and stuff like that. we talk about last couple of games matters for somebody's career. He's in this situation too. He's been bouncing around a lot, and he really hasn't been a factor on any team besides talking. So I love Pat's energy and effort and his love for the game, but he's not been productive anywhere. And if he gets a chance to end his career in Chicago, if he doesn't play well, it's a good look.
Yeah, I think for Pat, his value really is with young teams. If you're trying to show how to work and how to be a pro, or teams that are right there in the championship, like really championship contenders, and he can just be a good vet, locker room guy, holding guys accountable. I'm not sure how he fits in with the guys in the middle, with the teams in the middle, and how he provides that kind of value on the court. But for him personally, going home, obviously we just saw the news, Alonzo Ball being out all year. If he can get some minutes at the point guard position, playing off of DeRozan, playing off of Zach LaVine, guys like that, I think that's where he's best suited.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both these guys. First and foremost.
But it's interesting, Matt. I mean, we've talked about this before. Do you pick at that time in your career? Do you want to go to a place like Golden State, which you guys keep telling me every week still has a chance to win the title, or Chicago, which we all know? I know he's saying, "Oh, I want to give them a bit of a pop." They're not contenders.
No.
So, what do you think of him making that decision?
I mean, Golden State's backcourt is Poole, Curry, Thompson, and I know I'm probably missing some other people. DiVincenzo's been playing well, so it's just like it's loaded over there. You have a chance to go home. And where's Chicago sit? I'm not familiar. Are they middle of the pack? Where are they at right now?
They need a lot of help.
Producer Nate, what's Chicago ranked right now? Seeded? Do you guys know?
They need a lot of help. And
they need a lot of encore help.
Okay.
They need a lot of
Chicago's 11 right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I get playing time versus not playing time. I get it. But that's the question, right? When you're at this stage of your career, I'm always fascinated by guys who, Vince Carter was always really open toward the end of his career. He said, I want to go where I can play. He would go on these teams, and he said, for me, he said, I know everyone thinks I need a ring. He's like, I don't need a ring. I still want to hoop and play basketball. So it's kind of a little bit of what Pat Bev has decided here. He's going for the minutes. I was just curious what you guys thought of that.
I just think his journey's been incredible. You know what I mean? It's been well documented what he had to pay out of his contract to get in the NBA, and he's made some good money. And now at the end of the time, Rich, I think he knows the clock is ticking on his career. Like, why not get Golden State, although we feel like they have a great shot, why not go home? Why not go home and be that little push that maybe helps them get in the playoffs? No one's saying they're going to win, but be that little, go home and be able to help them make the playoffs. So I'm happy for him because we all know, how much time this game takes away from your family. I mean, that's how I retired my first year into a 3-year deal when I was fortunate enough to win with Golden State, because I just had missed my kids so much and I wasn't getting to see them. So like Jamal says, I mean, you can't pay for happiness. He's happy. He's home. He's at the crib. And if this is his last team and he can play here a couple of years, I mean, it's an amazing accomplishment what he's accomplished and been able to do in this league.
And then too, everybody's goal ain't to win the championship. That was my goal. So a lot of guys, some guys come in the league, Rachel, want to make a name for themselves, make some money, and get on. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed to win one early where I didn't have to worry about that towards the end of my career. But a lot of guys, I know I heard it from a lot of guys, don't come in the league thinking they want to be a champion, and that's what separates a lot of people.
What's killing me, though, is the fact that some of these vets is 34, 35, and we talking about them being out the league. Like,
crazy.
Yeah.
They're needed. Like, where's Melo at right now? Where's Isaiah at right now? Like, all these guys are needed. Like, how can you learn to be a pro and be a vet if you don't have that around you? Like, I called the Rising Stars game the other day, in the G League game. The Rising Stars team average age was just as young as the G League's team. Like, who's leading who?
Crazy.
It's crazy. So we need those vets so these guys can have real careers, not just be in the league and make mistakes and not really be able to learn from or be held accountable.
Yeah.
It's with all due respect, it's the blind leading the blind, because these young kids ain't never been through nothing. And then if you can't produce on the court, rarely are they keeping you. We can name Iguodala, we can name Udonis, but outside of that, like vets that aren't giving you minutes or aren't producing, they don't have those no more. But we talked about this with Charles. But, when we all came in the league, there was guys, whether, 36, 37, 38, whether they were playing or being productive on the court, they were just as important off the court.
Yes.
And sometimes they're bridged between the players and the coaches. They're OGs for the younger players.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much quality. There's just so many good things they bring to teams, but just the league has transitioned out of that. Owners have transitioned out of paying. They'd rather, pay potential than pay, they'd rather pay potential.
Yeah, the CBA is a little different now too, and it was interesting as they sort of get a new one together, whether they're going to correct that at all, but it doesn't look like it. It feels like the league is still trending really young.
Yep.
You have some old guys still going places. Kevin Love, could we call him an elder statesman at this point? Maybe K-Love.
Yep.
5-time All-Star, Olympic champion, of course, NBA champ. He'll bring a ton of experience to Miami's locker room. Does he change your opinion on the Heat's playoff chances, though? Jamal, what do you think?
Not for me. I think, honestly, they need what he brings to the table. I'm just not sure how much he can give, especially, and we all know Miami's notorious for how they work. From practice, they don't care if you're 10 years in, 15 years in, 2 years in, you're going to work. And for K-Love, a guy like that who's accomplished so much and played heavy minutes all these years, I'm not sure that's a spot I would have went to. I think he could help them win a playoff game, but I wouldn't look for him to help, be contributing in the playoffs every single game, not at this point.
I kind of think this is a good move for K-Love because I feel like he been resting his last couple of years and he want to give it another shot to win the chip. I think this is a good shot for Miami because now Bam can be the center and they have a real forward that can spread the court and also be big and help rebound. I like K-Love. I think this is an opportunity for him to give what he got, and to see what he got left in the tank. Let me say that. For him, because I think he's challenging himself. And this is a great opportunity because I think he's going to play a lot, especially in the playoffs with that experience, with being able to spread the court. I like K-Love and Bam Adebayo together in Miami. I think it gives them a better shot. I'm not going to say championship team rates, but it gives them a better shot.
I like what he could bring to the team. I just don't know like Jamal said, I don't know how much he has left. I think he's a good piece. Experience, can shoot the ball, could still rebound. Tough, tested, all the things you want in a pickup at this point. But like I said, we just have to see how much he still has in the tank. If he can give them, 20 to 25 minutes and be a, 14 and 8 guy, that's going to be huge for them. But we'll have to see if that's still in, if he still has it.
Yeah, I thought Miami missed more scoring than anything. I thought they needed another perimeter scorer, like somebody at the trade deadline, not a buyout guy, but a guy at the trade deadline. We're like, okay. Because Jimmy's good with being the Robin. He's good with setting guys up. He's good with being a defender. He doesn't have to be the focal point of an offense. But if Bam, maybe in foul trouble doesn't have it going, or Jimmy's, same thing, who's that guy besides Hero who can consistently get a bucket when things slow down? Miami plays a slow pace anyway. Who's the guy that can go get a bucket every single time or generate a quality look? And that's why I thought they were missing another, true third guy to be that guy on the perimeter.
Well, sometimes when you can't get what you need, you go get what is available.
True.
What they did here. I do think the three-point shooting is attractive to them. This is more of a fit thing with them. What he does is what they need. I don't know if he's going to move them out of where I think they're sitting at 7th right now. It's interesting. The Cavs are in 4th. It's possible that they could end up either seeing each other in the playoffs or start jostling each other's playoff positioning. So I don't know how that's going to work out, if he's going to want a little dig at his former team. I don't know. Jamal, you recently said you want Melo back in the league, not just in general, but you want him in Phoenix, right?
I do.
We're talking about old guys moving around.
Yeah, I think he'd be a perfect fit for them. The way they'll play, it's not going to be much defense being played anyway. Phoenix is going to be a team that gets timely stops. They ain't locking up nobody. So why not? Because I'm saying that because they're going to say, oh, he doesn't play defense. They ain't playing defense anyway. They lost their best defenders. They're going to get timely stops. Let's get Melo in the league and let him go out on his own terms. I feel like whenever a guy's paid that much to the game and done that much for the game, he should be able to leave how he wants to leave. Once you're 12, 14, 15 years and more, you should be able to leave how you want to leave. That's the way to do things, and Melo deserves to play. He did everything that was asked about him in the Lakers. Oh, he doesn't want to come off the bench. He did that. Oh, he's still shooting a high percentage from 3. He did that. He averaged double figures. Let's let him go out the way he wants to go. He deserves to go out for a shot at the championship.
I think that I'd love to see him play. The only reason why I don't think that'll happen is because they picked up T.J. Warren and Ross, which were two solid. I don't think people are talking enough about those two pickups.
Yes.
When you add a Kevin Durant and then you add, because my thing was they lost depth, so before they got Terrence Ross, I could have seen Melo, although they're different positions. At the end of the day, they're scorers, and Terrence Ross is a little younger. So I thought that would probably eat up, because I think, didn't CP say something about he wanted Melo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, before the Terrence Ross had come, and again, even though they don't play the same position, they still do the same thing at the end of the day, that I thought that could have worked there. But I really like, those two, Warren and Ross. I think they added more depth to their team. But I'm with you, Ma. I would love to see Melo get another chance. But it's just, similar. I wanted to see you get another chance at the end. You know what I mean? So it's just, right. It's weird that, when you do so much work, you put so much work in it. This game really shows you that it's a business.
I just had some clips the other day online, and they called me the other day and said, would I come out for a 10-day? I said, no, I can't have it. Mess up my game, and I can't have it. I'm good now. I'm good. Yeah.
Nah. I would love to see Melo, get another run. But it's a cold business at the end of the day. And we mentioned a couple guys that are probably on there, that really are that Russ, and, this is kind of his last, show and prove type situation, because the league, for some reason, it goes away from guys faster than guys want it to.
If a team called any of the three of you now, do you feel that you could go out and give them a 10-day?
If they gave me 3 weeks to get that 10-day, yeah, I can go out and give them what they need.
I'll give them a 10-day coaching job.
Yeah. I'll come watch practice for 10 days when I'm not working.
See, I knew Jamal was going to be the only one who would say, yeah, I could give it.
They're both smarter than me, that's all. They're talking
No. I've just heard Matt talk about his back,
Yeah. Matt's a hell of a coach, though. You got to see him coach. I've been stealing from him, for real, because I was so fired up. I was that rookie coach fired up, and now he didn't calm me down. He'd be so zen until they don't call a foul. Until they don't call a foul for Isaiah late when they should have got one. Then you see the real Matt.
It's this, fam.
That's it
okay. There. I can't see you, but I got an idea because I'm in Seattle and I got an idea.
You don't need to see. You don't need to see.
I don't need to see him. I got an idea.
You don't need to see. You know exactly what he's doing. It's all fine. Jamal, I just like knowing that you're the one who's going to carry all of us. We appreciate it.
I get you a bucket.
Let's go to On the Radar, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We are in the final stretch, guys, of course, of the season. DraftKings has odds in the West. This is so interesting. Who's going to participate in the play-in tournament? Lakers specifically, everyone's got their eyes there. They're at -110. And LeBron mentioned this in his All-Star press conference. He said, these upcoming 23 games, he called them some of the most important in my career. And then he paused for a second. He goes, regular season. But he did make the point that the Lakers haven't been making the playoffs. He does not see himself as a guy who sits out the playoffs for 2 seasons. What do you think, Matt? Where are you in terms of the Lakers actually making the play-in?
I think it's on AD's health. I think they can make the playoffs if AD's healthy. I think they made some solid moves. So I think if you can say you can't go against AD and LeBron if AD is healthy, I think this team will, come out of the play-in situation and into an actual playoff seed and maybe win a game or 2 in the first round.
Yeah, I don't think. No disrespect, I just don't trust AD's health. I really don't. Not to carry that kind of load. Like, this team was built for him to be the guy, and it hasn't happened. Yep. We've seen incredible feats LeBron's doing. He's a one-of-one with how his longevity and durability is. But LeBron's supposed to be the guy who's setting AD up and taking over in the fourth quarter. We're using LeBron's juice first through 2 weeks. Like, he's going the whole everything. So for that, I feel like they won't make the play. And I think out of the 23 games, they have to go like 17-6. In that home stretch, when you have teams jostling between 4th position and 12th position, I just don't think it happens.
These games might not be the most important to him for his career, but to a lot of people looking at his career, it is. Because for him to go 2 seasons without making the playoffs, that says a lot. Especially being in that Laker uniform. They expect greatness. You just broke the scoring record. And the last thing we expect is for LeBron James to not be in the playoffs, especially with a player like Anthony Davis on his team. That says a lot for them to not make the playoffs. So it's bigger than he's saying. I think in the back of his mind, he knows that they have to get in this playoffs. If they don't, a lot of people are going to be saying a lot of different things about him.
Well, look, they're currently 27-32. They're in 13th place. If they don't make the postseason at all, if they don't even make the play-in, are we going to start hearing some whispers about whether LeBron stays with the team or not?
That's definitely coming.
That shouldn't even be important, Rach. We talking about Jordan and GOAT status. That's what he needs to be thinking about, not moving out other teams. You are the leading scorer in NBA history. Now it's about winning. Now it's about carrying teams and separating yourself from a lot of these conversations. Not making the playoffs is not helping those conversations. Regardless where he goes, if he goes to another team, that really doesn't matter because he continue to get older. For me, Rach, he's just trying to play with his son one year. If he doesn't win this year, I don't think winning the championship is going to be his focus, just playing with his son.
They're definitely not winning the championship this year.
No. Playing with Bronny is going to be bigger than winning the championship.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There was 2 things to check off. All-time leading scorer, play with Bronny. Man, what can you say about a career like that?
I mean, I just think, and we continue to say it, he's writing his ending right now. So, Jack, to your point, he's well aware, I think, what this means. I think he is downplaying, but I also think he's being open with you. Like, these next 23 are very important. Like, I can't miss the playoffs in this uniform 2 years in a row. So,
he's done his part. Like, he's been unbelievable these last 3 years. It's just, it's sad because the player's so great. They need a better team around him.
Well, I just hope AD
we held Kobe at that same standard, though.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He's going to be held at that standard, but he's Jack, the man's averaging 30 points, 6 boards, 5 assists at 38. It still looked like he got juice left. He's still dunking like second year. I ain't say his first year, but like his second year still.
Thanks.
But, I mean, he's going to be looking at, say, Phoenix, and you've got that team, and who's stacked on that team. I mean, LeBron doesn't have a team around him like that.
Absolutely not.
No. But his thing, he has to get in the playoffs, though.
Just get there.
He may not be Phoenix, but you have to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, just get there. That's my thing. I think people are looking at him just to get there.
No, I know. I just meant in the summer. I just didn't know if his eye was going to start wandering to what other guys have that he doesn't have. But we'll see. We'll see.
He knows. They have to tell him everything has to get told to Bron before everything else starts happening. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, they don't possibly get a chance to land Kyrie this summer, race. Then we can talk about him bouncing.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens there. We got legendary moments presented by Top Shot coming up now, guys. And Top Shot last week allowed users to pre-order a highlight reel from the dunk contest winner. That was a special commemorative moment. And bam, turned out to be a crazy in-demand moment. Users can still purchase theirs up until February 24th at 3 o'clock Eastern. Stack, of the dunk contest, what was sort of the best dunk Mac had to you, or what was sort of the best moment to you?
I think for me was his first dunk. Because a lot of people was anticipating what he's going to do. He's a little short white kid. Can he really jump? A lot of people ain't been watching Instagram or don't know too much about him. But that first dunk, Rachel, to line 2 people up, jump over him, grab the ball, tap the backboard, then dunk it backwards. I think that set the tone that Matt was here for real. And I was happy he was able to make it because a lot of guys, they missed that first dunk and they keep trying to make it and they don't get off to a good start. Matt nailed his first dunk and was able to win it.
Yeah, that first dunk was crazy. And I didn't know what he was going to do because if you think about it, he had those 2 come out and they were in a different position. Then when my man got on the other guy's shoulders and then he did what he did, I had to watch the replay. I didn't see the actual tap at first. But when he did that, I said, oh, this is 50. Sick. This is ridiculous. And he didn't miss a dunk. Yeah. Like, that's underrated. He didn't miss one of his dunks.
That's appreciated.
See, they give him multiple chances, but I don't know, as a judge, right? I would definitely rate a guy higher if he made the first one, not if he made like the 4th one.
Yeah, and exactly. And once I saw, that he did it, I had to start saying 50 out loud so somebody wouldn't come out and try to give him a lower score. Like, oh, that's a 46. So I had to say 50. All
right, how much collusion is there up there, though? How much collusion is there between the judges?
Well, see, I got criticized, but it wasn't much collusion, to be honest with you. I just saw what the temperament, they had to fill the room. And the end of the room was as cold as ice. I said, man, you deliver. That's the deliver. And I said, Nick, we got to hold it down because it was an average score. So we had to make sure the right person got the average score.
Well, Karl Malone said going into the dunk contest, he was not giving any charitable scoring. And he definitely had the whole time through. He had sort of the harshest critiques of everybody going through.
And he's done enough giving back.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Let me go ahead and look at my Lake Washington when you start talking like that.
Yeah, here we go.
Rate, save us. Come on, Hall of Famers, save us.
He's done enough.
You're asking me. I was going to say, this is a 5-alarm fire you're asking me to come and hose down. Come on.
All right.
Here's what I'm going to say. Did you know that you can start your NBA Top Shot collection today at NBATopShot.com? You can get closer than ever to the game and the players you love. Sign up today.
I never wanted to hear Top Shot so bad.
All All right, guys, we got the Iverson Classic rosters just announced. We got DJ Wagner, Robert Dillingham, Justin Edwards. Several players from last year's game were projected lottery picks. Stack, this is your baby, along with Mr. Allen Iverson, our greatest living American. How far has this tournament come in the past few years?
Man, Rach, I'm honored to say that I was been there from the start, man. You know, a lot of us played in the McDonald's game, and that was the biggest game coming up. But this game is something that I wish I could have played in for a guy like Allen Iverson, a guy we look up to and admire so much, right? But this is definitely different than any All-Star game or a high school game that I've been to when I was playing, Rach, because just of the events during the week, the hands-on, you have so many NBA players come in and give these guys advice about life, basketball. You go to the museum. I think what Bobby and Ja have built, along with Showtime coming on, I think it's been beautiful for the guys and for NBA players to get involved with young guys and everybody get on the same page that week, wherever the game is, and this year is in Jersey. So shout out to everybody that's been involved in this game. Like you said, you got DJ Wagner and Robert Dillingham in the game. It's going to be real exciting. And also, it's a possibility that you might see a Jackson boy in the game.
Ooh.
Stay tuned.
Ooh. Well, I mean, can we expect Mac and Jamal? Can we expect you guys to come? Come on.
Yeah.
There's a Jackson boy.
Let me check my Palm Pilot.
Yeah, I need to be out there for that. I just saw AI at All-Star Weekend, and I turned into a little kid. Like it don't matter what it is. Like if I was a youngster coming up and I got invited to this game, I would have caught a Greyhound from Seattle to Memphis to get in that game. Like this is AI and Stack and the crew. So there's no way I would have missed this.
We were watching some footage of Allen talking in the locker room before last year's Classic, and we're watching him, and he's giving this hype up speech, and it's incredible, and the footage is still hanging in the air, and Matt Barnes goes, "Yeah, watch Ronald McDonald do that, huh?"
No, Ronald can't give you the same gems as Chuck.
Ronald ain't doing that.
Ronald ain't have a crossover.
No.
I just think also what makes this game dope is the guys that do come back out and like you said, Jack, really put their hands on these kids and help give them the game and show them the path and just a different way of thinking, unlike any other game. You know, it's a brotherhood. I unfortunately missed it the last 2 years, but I'll be out there this year. But the way these older players come back and kind of are mentors over the weekend and kind of give these kids the game before they get to the game I think is what makes this special. So I'm excited for it. My Palm Pilot said I'm free, so I'm going to be out there, Jack.
You do not have a reliable Palm Pilot. Jamal, I'm so happy you could be here with us today. So Stack and Matt, which mall did we get? Which Jamal Crawford?
No, we got
many Jamals.
We got mixtape Mall, Rach. We got mixtape Mall, but I'm telling you, this is definitely the funniest episode of What's Burning. And this is why I can't be, because I really can't be a professional with Maul on the same.
I wish I was there with y'all. Hey, hold on, can I ask y'all something for real? It's crazy, and I told Matt this. Man, y'all interviewed Will Smith, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley.
Dude, right?
Like, to see where y'all have gone, like y'all are beyond even, I don't know if you thought you'd be interviewing Magic and the Will Smiths and everything. How do y'all feel? You two specifically.
The popcorn. When the popcorn start popping, you taught me this a long time ago, Showtime. When that popcorn start popping, that smell gets you in game time. It gets you in game form.
There. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same. It's the same with this. You know, every opportunity we get. You know, me and you talk a lot, especially about. Well, you and Baron Davis are two, and Matt. You, Baron Davis, and Matt are three people that give me the most props of my game in basketball ever. I'm talking about when we played to now. So we've always had these conversations about not getting our just due, but to be in a situation. You know, to be able to be brought in this space by the GOAT, Rachel Nichols, to be able to be built what I built with Matt in this space, it's been all a blessing, bro. So we just take advantage of opportunities because we don't always get them.
Yeah, no, I just think we want to inspire and encourage. You know, I just think it's such amazing to see the wave of not just in podcasts, but just in media, period. Like we can tell our own stories now and we know how to articulate our thoughts, you know, to viewers. And I think there's an appreciation for that. So we just want to do our part to continue to do that, continue to inspire, continue to motivate, you know, continue to raise the bar and challenge each other, because I think this is a dope space with a lot of money in it, and we can all keep getting this money just like we're getting the money in the league.
And for you, Rach, you being back, like Man, how's that feel?
Baby.
Yeah, how's that?
Oh, baby.
We all missed your voice. We all missed your presence. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Well, it's because I get to be back with you guys. I mean, it's funny. There's all kinds of people out there in the basketball space, right? But you want to talk about why Matt and Stack have been so successful and just skyrocketing up. It's because they're real, right? And that's what all Showtime basketball has been. Like, you got people on here saying real shit. And that has been one of the most fun things for me to be back and kind of being able to talk about stuff, is that no one's giving presentations here on behalf of anyone or anything. Everyone's really talking what they feel, and I love that. And I love that's what this has kind of become, the space.
Jamal, name another show that Rachel could be hosting and someone could light a joint in the middle of the show and nothing happened to nobody.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened to nobody.
It ain't frowned upon.
Nothing happens to nobody.
It ain't frowned upon.
It's celebrated. Fire that thing up, Matt.
Now, we appreciate you, man. We look forward to having you back. Whenever you get some time. We know you're busy, but whenever you get some time,
whenever.
Pop in on us.
This family, whenever. You already know.
Hey, congrats to your new gig too, bro. Doing big shit on TNT.
Yes,
man.
sir.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Watching y'all was inspiring. And Rachel saw something in all of us before, because she talked to me years ago when I wasn't even thinking about media, like, you're gonna be pretty good. And and she obviously had you guys. Like, so
she got an eye for talent.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I'm a good talent scout. It's not hard. Y'all guys make it easy for sure. Well, Mal, we are requiring you to come back soon.
Thanks.
Everyone else out there, you can catch What's Burnin' every week on Showtime Basketball YouTube. And what else, Stack?
And on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, I ShoBasketbell.
Boom. He's got it.
He got it.
Good day, y'all.
You already know. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
You and I have traveled to the far reaches of space. But something's different now. This is the end, my friend.
What are your thoughts for the future?
I helped build the most magical place in the world.
What do you say we come in for my close-up now?
I always wanted to be part of something bigger.
I made it on my terms, not theirs.
Here's the twist.
Whoa! I'm in so much trouble, Mandy.
It's over.
You have no idea what's next.
We were gonna be more than they ever bargained for.
Babylon, rated R, now streaming on Paramount+.